the Buffalo Bills against the Detroit Lions. The Bills are favored by 10 in this game. The over-under is 54. The Bills had some experience adjusting to Ford Field last week, although Josh Allen continued to slump. They had to be pleasant about getting a traditional running game going because they used Cook and Singletary pretty well in that game. By the way, the Lions have a 3-game winning streak, in case you guys didn't know that. I think the Bills will show us that they're the Bills again, and they'll beat the Lions at home. I think the Bills might even have more fans than the Lions at this game because they travel so well. They showed up last week, and they'll show up again. But I think the Bills will win 34-20 win, and that would cover the 10-point spread. If I had to choose one, I would say under 54.
Bills, they should be winning pretty easily this game. I don't see the Lions scoring much. The Bills defense is too good. The Lions, yes, they have a 3-game win streak, but as you said earlier, Jared Goff has been struggling during that win streak. So I have the Bills winning this one 31-14. So Buffalo covers the 10 points, and it's going to be under. It's going to be 45 points. So I think 54 is a lot for NFL game. So I'm picking the under.
The Lions have been playing better, but it's still going to be the Bills. I mean, I hope not a disappointment with Josh Allen. Like, he didn't get me too many points on fantasy. I'm taking the Bills. I'm going to go under as well with the guys. I'm going to say they're going to stay in the 20s to let's say 27-14.
That's a pretty decent score. Here's the thing with Detroit this year. My thing. They've hung on to every game that they've played this season. Except for a few. I mean, they held on with the Eagles. Who else did they hold on with? They haven't been losing their games by a lot. I'm taking Buffalo in this. They're 10-point favorites, which is a big spread, but it kind of makes sense. But I'll take Buffalo here. I don't know if they cover that 10-point spread just because Detroit is capable of scoring. Because I mean, that's all they really have for them is their offense. Their defense is pretty meh. So I'll take Detroit to cover that 10-point spread. And I'm going to take the over 54. I like a lot of scoring in this game. Josh Allen and his offense will get back to their ways after the last week, and then Detroit, I think, will hang on a little bit and stay pretty close. I think it'll be surprising to a lot of people, but it's in Detroit, and I think they'll rally the troops and keep up. Buffalo ultimately winning. Detroit covering 10-point spread. Over 54 for me.
Next game here, it's your Dallas Cowboys, Daniel and Steven, against the New York Giants. Last time the Giants and Cowboys played, the Cowboys won 23-16. Dallas road win in week 3. Dak Prescott will be playing this time because last time he had Cooper Rush playing, but the Cowboys haven't changed their smart run heavy identity much of late. The number is just a little too big for teams that mostly play each other tight. By the way, let me give you the spreads that I'm talking about the numbers. The Cowboys are favored by 9.5. The over-under is 45. I think the number is pretty big too. I think it's going to be closer, but I think Pollard and Zeke will get the running game going like they did last week. They did really good last week with utilizing both of them, as you have talked about all season, Daniel, with how you want them to run the run game. Yes.
Weird how
and it worked out.
Fucking well it works when you run the offense correctly, huh?
Exactly.
It's fucking amazing.
But
40 points on an 8-1 football team. God bless.
But ultimately on Thanksgiving Day, I think the Cowboys will win this game. I think it's going to be 28-21 over the Giants. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Cowboys get the game-winning touchdown in the final minutes, being a tie, or they'll get a game-winning field goal in the final minutes. But I'm going to predict 28-21, which puts us 48, 49. I guess it does give you the over. I thought the number was too big, but you know what? I can see it happening. And that would put the Giants covering at 9.5.
Division games are always so tight, especially in the NFC East right now. Cowboys, Giants, big rivalry, and Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. I have the Cowboys pulling the window. I have them winning by a touchdown, as like you do, except my score is 24-17, a little bit lower on the scoring side, but that means the Giants will cover, but it'll be the under. It'll be at 41 points. But normally, division games like this are really tight, so that's why I'm picking the under.
The Giants have been disappointing recently. It is a rivalry, though. I don't know.
This time that Tony's taking is him trying to convince himself that the Cowboys are going to lose somehow. That's what's going on.
That's exactly what's going on.
For those
that
don't know, Tony is a Steelers fan and he can't pick the Cowboys ever for anything.
I want to be the only one going with the Giants this week.
Yeah,
why not?
Why
You're going with the Giants?
Damn right, I'm going with the Giants.
That's a
I have
pride
no
pick
faith
there,
in them, but
folks.
I'm going with the Giants. I'm gonna say you guys are right though. It's gonna be division games. Rivalry games in specific are always going to be super close, no matter how much the team sucks. Keep it close. I'm going to say 21-24 Giants in the final minutes. It's going to be a little field goal win.
I hate this guy. All right. I just want to make it known that The Cowboys' offense in the first 7 weeks of the season was very middle of the pack. The last 4 games since Dak Prescott has been back, they are top 5 in most of the Power 10 categories for offense, giving like yards, touchdowns scored, rushing yards, the whole shebang. Also, the Cowboys are due for a Thanksgiving win. They have not won on Thanksgiving the past 3 years. So fun fact for you there. It's very shitty, but Cowboys are due for their win. It's in Arlington. I just think Dallas is too powerful this year. I mean, they showed us last week what they are capable of. Utter fucking domination against Minnesota. Kirk Cousins didn't know who he was. Well, no, I guess he knew who he was. He was in prime time. Once you put pressure like that onto him, I think we had 7 or 8 sacks that game. Once you have pressure on quarterbacks like that, most of them will start to freak out. I mean, you have those elite quarterbacks like a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson that can scramble out. Josh Allen can move even though he's fucking 6'6", like 250. Those elite quarterbacks are there. Daniel Jones is not an elite quarterback though. So I think Dallas will get a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones in New York this week. What they really need to focus on defensively is stopping Saquon and making sure that they don't run a lot of like tricky dump off plays like over the linemen's heads. If the defense can hold up really well this week, I know the offense will produce against this Giants defense, and if they just stick to what they're capable of with keeping the power run game going, not giving up on it at any point, and not running any stupid little ticky-tack bullshit trick plays that they don't need to do, Dallas has way more talent than New York, so I take Dallas here big. I'm going to take them big. Beat the Eagles last year 51-21 and 41-14, I think. So I think we're due for another one of those wins in our division. I'm going to take Dallas covering that 9.5 spread. I'm going to take the over as well, over 45, because I think Dallas is going to go upper 30s in points. They have all the capabilities to do so. You saw last week against the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. Was that game in Minnesota? It was in Minnesota too.
It was in Minnesota.
So get fucked, Minnesota. And yeah, so we're back in Arlington. We'll have our shitty fan base behind us. They'll be hyped up at least. So there's that. But give me the Cowboys 38-10 hitting the over.
Damn.
On Thanksgiving.
Damn, no faith in the Giants from Daniel.
No fucking faith. I haven't had faith in the Giants all season. They've found ways.
Every time you haven't, though, they've won.
They've snuck into their games that they won, though. They haven't like beaten anybody down. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and hopefully the Giants will get exposed for the rest of their season. Go Cowboys.
Next game here, we have the Patriots going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. That is your Thursday night game, folks. The Vikings are favored by 3. The over-under is 42.5. The Vikings' 8-2 record has come under fire after the Cowboys ripped them at home 40-3. This is following their improbable win over the Bills in week 10. So I don't understand what goes on in the NFL week to week, but here we go. As you said, Daniel, Kirk Cousins got rattled into nothingness versus the Dallas defense, and he doesn't tend to play well in prime time. Yep, exactly as you said. And New England's defense under Bill Belichick is also concerning. But between Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and TJ Hawkinson, I think the Vikings bounce back here. I think it's a gritty game, but I think the Vikings will get the win 20-13. I think that will be the final score here. The Vikings can't lay 2 goose eggs at home in a row, right?
I don't know. It's prime time.
I know it is true. It is prime time. But I think on Thanksgiving night, they will find a way. Justin Jefferson's the difference. They win.
This game was a little tough for me to pick just because of that reason. I mean, it's prime time. Kirk Cousins doesn't perform well. And they are playing the Patriots, who Bill Belichick is a defensive mastermind. So if he's watched the whole Cowboy game, I'm pretty sure he'll find a way to duplicate that somehow, even with the not as talented team as they have. So I have this one as a close game. I think the Vikings will still win this, just like Casey will. I have Minnesota covering 21-17, so points they're covering. So that'll bring me with the under as well, as I think this will be a tighter game than the odds makers think. So that's my take.
Kirk Cousins, what a disappointment. I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Just give him a chain, he'll be fine.
Give him a chain.
Time Kirk Cousins, though.
Just to clarify, though, he's only like that bad in Monday night prime time. He's 2-10 Monday night football games in his career. The rest of them aren't that bad, but God bless.
Oof.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna go with. I think it was just a big fluke. Something was off in their offense that wasn't allowing them to work.
It's called Michael Parsons.
It was called the offensive line, not blocking.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. I'm gonna give the Vikings the win. I don't think it'll be a 2.5 point. I'm gonna give them more than a field goal. I'm gonna say they're gonna win. It'll be 28-5. I think it's gonna be a comeback and just a setting spot for Kirk Cousins to just say, dude, it was just an off week. Come back.
I'm sorry. Did you say 28-5?
10.
Oh, 10. I heard 28-5.
That's what I heard too. I was like,
I was like, huh?
Hey, those safeties, man. They
It
get
might
you.
work. Little safety. Yeah, little safeties work wonders. Nah, 28-10. And I think they're gonna get those 10 in the first half. Just it's gonna be a close game at the half, and then they're just gonna blow them out of the water on the second end. It's gonna be the end of the scoring for the Patriots. So that'll put me at under. Vikings are gonna take it. It should be an easy win for them.
oh God, I'm tempted to pick the Patriots. I really am, just because of what happened last week. The Vikings got fucking exposed. Either the Vikings got exposed, or Dallas is that good, or it was just a big fluke for Minnesota. But I'm just gonna act like it was Dallas being good. For this game though, I kind of like the spread. I think if Kirk Cousins performs the way that he normally does in primetime, this is how I'm gonna fuel this. I'm gonna take Minnesota to win, but on a last second desperation field goal. I think it's going to be a really close game because it is in prime time and Kirk Cousins just cannot handle pressure. The Vikings hopefully are just devastated after that game last week and just crumble, because I'm not super sold. I feel like no, because their offense is pretty good. I don't understand how Dallas shut them down as bad as they did last week with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook back there. I love it, but wow. But I'm going to take this game, field goal winner for Minnesota, 28-27. Fuck it. 28-27 Minnesota. That puts you at 55 points, so way over.